ask for donations on your YouTube page.
Okay, let me answer your first question. Or let me get a better understanding so I can make sure and answer you properly. When you say that I down people, what's your definition of downing people? Like, what specifically do I say that I down people for?
What you Well, you just be always having something to say about that, like about GoFundMe and like people asking for donations and stuff. Like I understand, like people should have life insurance. Like I have life insurance for myself and my kids.
May I
Like I
may I
get that, but
may I ask you a
maybe
question?
somebody else
May I,
just
hold on. May I ask you a question? Why do you like for
sure.
you personally? Why do you have life insurance? Why?
To help pay for burial costs and things like that. If anything happens, make sure my children are taken care of and things like that.
Like, how do you feel
Okay,
about that?
so
Because you know that we all are born, we all will live, and at some point we all will pass away. Like, does it give you a sense of relief to know that if the inevitable happens, or when the inevitable happens, that it won't be a burden to your family members?
yeah, sure. But okay, so listen, I understand that, but everybody's not able. And I'm not even trying to go back and forth with you and argue with you about this. I just had a question. You could have answered the question and moved on. Like, I just want to know, like, because it's just kind of weird how like you ask for donations, but you be like on people's head about donating and asking for donating for burial costs. Like
Have you
it's
ever
just
seen
like
me ask for
weird to me.
donations?
Well, don't you have like a donation link like right there?
Yes, ma'am. But here's the difference though, because I'm a big person with words, and that's why I think I wanted to talk to you so that way I can make sure that we get some clarity as far as if I'm doing something, I want to make sure that I'm doing exactly what I say I'm doing. So what you're saying is that I've asked. You specifically said I ask for donations, and I'm asking you, have I ever asked for donations on air? Ever?
I don't know. I don't watch you enough to know if you do that. If you don't do that, then okay, that's cool.
Okay, and I feel you. And look, and I'm gonna tell you this: it takes a lot of courage to be able to come on here. So even if this is your first time, this is our first
Not
time
really.
talking. So I can appreciate you at least being woman enough to come on here and be like, you know what? Jay asked me to come on. I'm gonna come on and speak my thoughts. So I appreciate that. So let me say
It was a
this:
question though.
I feel you.
It was just a question.
Here's the answer to your question. Since day one, I have never asked for any donations. When I first started this, people actually asked me, is there a way that we can contribute to support you? From that day, I said, you know what? I made my PayPal link available. And I said, if you want to, here's the link. It's always there in every video. I don't even bring it up, actually. So here's what happens. What I'll do is I will start a stream. I've already done the information, put everything up, and boom, it shows that the show is about to start in like 1 hour. I will look at my phone, and people have already sent something when I didn't even say a word. So one would have to also wonder, why are people doing it? I think that's what people are more interested in. Not, am I asking, because I'm not. I think more people are curious as to why people contribute. And that's why I always tell people, if they want to, and you could ask them in the chat, like, why do they donate? Because it's different people that do it. But I think more than anything, people support a message that I've been putting out here for almost the past 4 years. And it's just like with anything. If you want something to grow, you put your money into it. Would you agree?
Uh huh.
Yeah, I mean, really, with anything, it's just
Okay,
like,
so here's my question. Like, how do you feel about people donating to like the kids in Africa, like to eat? Like, do you feel like that's wrong? Like, do you feel like those Africans need to get up off their ass and go get a job or something? Like,
I don't have any problem with that. But here's what I have a problem with. I have a problem with people taking advantage of good people. Do you understand what I'm saying? With good
but
people,
how is that
let me.
taking advantage of a good person if they just didn't have life insurance and they just
Well,
needed some
hold
help
on,
burying their people?
hold on. Let me explain the first part. Let me explain the first part. When you're asking about the Africa thing, I have no problem. As a matter of fact, like I've gone out and helped the homeless and stuff like that. I do stuff like that, and I actually have a couple of times that I plan to do that throughout this year myself. But when it comes to helping people in Africa, here's the problem. Have you ever heard of a program called Feed the Children?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why they were shut down?
No, I didn't haven't like read into that or anything.
because they were basically taking everything and pocketing the money, and they didn't help the children at all. Would you see that as a problem?
Okay. Okay, so what you have a problem with is the actual GoFundMe page because they take a percentage. That's what you have a problem with?
No, 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 not at all. Look, and that's my thing. I don't have a problem with them doing that at all. What I'm saying, when I talk about them taking a percentage, I said when people talk about, well, y'all are benefiting off the children, everybody benefits off the children. Everybody does. Everybody does. The news does, the media does, the coroner does, the judges do, the police do, investigators do, GoFundMe does, everybody does. Thank you. Somebody said misappropriation of funds. That's what I have a problem with. So here's my thing with the GoFundMe, and it's really not even a big thing. I'm just more or less putting out an idea that I'm saying let's not use crowdfunding to supplement for life insurance because it's not even that expensive to get life insurance, especially if people are able to utilize a service like a Gerber Life. I actually proved to people, and I think you could get life insurance on a child for like what, $1 or $2 a month? I'm like, if we can't afford that, I'm like, where are we going in this world? But people still do it. There have been plenty of times when people have put up a GoFundMe and we've actually said, we'll go donate. We feel like maybe this one's worthy. It's just my personal opinion. Does that make sense?
Okay, I'm about to go. You go ahead and carry on with your show, though. I got things going on over here.
Okay, well, I hope that makes sense.
I didn't want to take too much of your time anyway.
No, you're good. Thank you for calling in.
No problem. Have
Okay. All right, let me bring in, let me take down the screen real quick just in case. So let's bring in, we got Tay Biggs. I don't know if we've ever talked before, but I'm going to bring you in, and I'm going to bring in Fig Newton. So y'all do me a favor. Don't talk over each other, but Tay Biggs, what's going on?
Yeah, we talked before.
Okay, holla at your boy. What's going on?
Yeah, man, I have to say that, man, that person, man, I had to call it out, man. She's stupid as she done. Because that don't make no sense. She trying to call you out on accepting donations, which makes no sense. Then she turned around and tried to make an excuse. So you trying to tell it's okay, not okay for you to take donations, but then at the same time, she's going to sit there and say, but not everybody can afford insurance, but these fair bunnies go out, go spend money on their damn weed, spend money on their damn friends, manage to get these luxuries ass damn cars that they can barely afford. They live in a damn hood. The house is all decrepit outside, but you go inside, they got all these damn luxury items, but they can't afford what, 13, maybe $20 a damn month for some damn life insurance?
Right.
Come
so
on,
here,
man, that don't make no damn sense.
So here's my thing, and I think I could probably answer what her question was a little bit better now that I had a little more time to think about it. It's like with GoFundMe, basically what we're doing is we're hoping that people will see it and hoping that people will contribute what we need, right?
No, I got you.
So why would we hope that our family and friends and our children get the proper amount of coverage to pay for their final expenses? Why would we hope for that as opposed to ensuring that we have it? That's probably the best. That's probably how I should have worded it. But what do you think? Do you think I'm right about that?
No, but at the same time, she loses the whole of it when she sit there and she said not can afford it. Yes, you can. You lay down and had that damn child, so you should be able to afford some insurance.
Well, I agree. I agree. Fig Newton, are you there?
Look, hear me out. These women get car payments for like $2 They gotta pay for insurance. That insurance could be like about $100 and something damn dollars.
Yeah.
But you tell me you can $50, $60, $30, $20
Yeah.
for some damn insurance. That woman that was just on this, she paid for fucking insurance.
Right. And so my whole thing, I guess I was wondering as far as, that's why I asked her, like, she clearly sees a value in life insurance. So I'm like, so I want to know, like, okay, what's the value of it to you? And if you have that answer, then I say it's a value to me And then I think it should be a value to others. And I don't want us to have to hope to be able to have our final expense funding. And life insurance is an easy way to be able to do that. But let me tell you this, Tay Biggs and Fig Newton. Hold on just a second. But
Sure.
I've watched
Well, I
even.
think the problem is that they're not donating enough.
Well, I mean, look. I'm gonna always leave that on to the people, bro. Like real talk. Like, that's definitely not my place to say that. But I'm gonna tell you, people have been so amazing. I'm definitely not going. I'm gonna be thankful. Period. You feel me? For anything, if they send $1, whatever it is, I'm gonna be thankful for whatever I get. But like I say, man, when it comes to, to the whole life insurance thing, it's just all I'm trying to do is put an idea out there and just say, don't hope to get those expenses covered. Because for every one or two or three stories y'all see on GoFundMe that do get the funding, I've actually had some of my family members, when somebody passed away, they put up a GoFundMe and they didn't get anything. $100, $200 to
No,
try
I,
to cover
I,
to try to cover
I
a $7,000
all
funeral.
that one. Like, don't make excuses for.
You cutting out a little bit, bro.
And I just wondered if I want because there's no excuses why you shouldn't know your child.
Yeah, I figure. I appreciate that. Let me switch over real quick. Fig Newton, are you there?
Yes.
Talk to me. What's your thoughts?
Well, my thought
All right,
is,
but hey, I'm out, man. Hey, man.
All right, Tay Biggs, man. Appreciate you, bro. Okay, thank you.
I want to say, man, ain't nobody donating enough to you, man. Because, hey, man, I have a child myself. I appreciate what you do.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Okay, Fig Newton, go ahead. Talk to me.
yes, well, my thought tonight is this. In today's world, there are protests and riots going on over injustices that had been done to people, and rightly so. But I don't believe in the violent rioting or whatever. But I do believe that we have a right to protest peacefully. Why in the world is no one out there screaming at the top of their lungs for the injustices that have been done to these beautiful, innocent babies,
Right.
taken out of this life, or they're, just won't get to live their full lives by the very people who should lay their lives down to protect them. It's just heartbreaking. I don't know. I'm just baffled by the whole thing. It's just sad. It really is that a mother would punch her child or allow someone else to abuse her child to the point of death, and not knowing if he abused her or not. But I'm just saying, he was there. He could have stopped the mother if he had really wanted to. I believe.
Right.
I have 3 grown children in their 40s, and I can tell you, I'm all of 5'0", but let somebody touch a hair on their heads to this day, and to their embarrassment, I would be there. Just mama bear coming at them. I just am so saddened and tired of hearing about these parents that kill their children, or for whatever reason. There's not a good reason. So that was just my thought today. And I want to say I do appreciate so much what you do. You're a very rare commodity, can I say, because not everybody speaks out like you do. You speak the truth, you tell it like it is, and I'm sorry that young lady couldn't see it, and I don't.
Right, that's all. And I think it's just a matter of she just. But that's why I opened myself up to the conversation, because I said she just might see it a different way. So I figured instead of us typing back and forth, maybe I misunderstood her, maybe she misunderstood me. And I just said, I will gladly take a moment if maybe my message is being misconstrued, or if there's something you feel like is wrong. I actually do encourage people. What do I say? If you see something, say something, right?
Say something, right, yes.
Yeah, so she did that, and that's perfectly fine. Now, some people, I feel like she did it in a respectful way. There's some people that don't do it in a respectful way, which is different. But I don't mind having the conversation. But let me ask you this. How do you feel about my thoughts? Because I thought I explained it a little bit more here, But how do you feel about my thoughts about GoFundMe and my feelings about it? How do you feel
I
about it?
agree. I agree with you on that. I mean, I think there might be rare situations where it maybe needs to be done, but speaking generally, I do agree with you on that. Um, Insurance doesn't cost that much, especially if you start when they're babies. And
Right.
and I know sometimes things get tight, and you kind of cut corners here and there, but you're responsible for your child from the beginning to the end. I mean, you just have to be able to provide for that child. And I do like when you say that if you can't afford, to pay for monthly insurance and and all that, that you shouldn't be having kids. And you're right. Uh, I think in today's world, they're just too quick to have, to have the babies. And I don't understand why, but that's their choice.
Mm-hmm.
But if they would just wait and get an education and secure themselves in this world, and then, take my daughter, who was told she'd never be able to have kids. And she had a little girl, and she wasn't married, but my gosh, we treasure her because we never thought she would have a child. And she's raised her on her own. And, but she got herself through school. She paid her own college, her way through college, got her, degrees and what have you. And she supports her child just fine. She doesn't have to depend on a man to help her.
Right.
In other words, she doesn't have to rely on anyone else to help her.
So let me ask you this. Do you have any qualms about people donating and contributing to the platform?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Absolutely.
Why not?
And I'll tell you why not is they don't understand hours that you spend. I know you spend, even though I don't know you personally, I know you spend hour upon hour researching, digging, getting the truth, and to the truth, so that you can present it to us, and we just get to sit back and reap what you've sown. But I really appreciate that, and I don't think she really understood. A lot of people don't. I mean, they don't understand that. But being I like to dig and research too, and in doing, I can understand how, and I can spend a whole day doing that and not even realize my day's gone.
Yeah.
So I appreciate your time very much.
It's an absolute honor, and I appreciate you hopping on. We got Lee on the
But
line. Lee, what's going on?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great.
Can you
I
hear
got you
me?
on the line.
All
Talk to
right.
me. How are you doing?
Uh, well, I'm good. I'm just a little agitated, a little irritated. I just kind of felt like she was just looking for a dig, a little bit, looking to be um, a fight. And
Hmm.
I think you handled yourself well. And if, nobody makes anybody come on here and do anything or donate anything that we don't want to. And people, and I'm not going to go over it because I kind of lost connection. I think you already reiterated your point about what you do, and why all of us are family, and we give what we can afford to give. And I mean, it's just as simple as that. And I don't like the way she rushed you. I gotta go. You know what?
But
You
you know what? Look,
you
here's
you
the
made the
thing, and I don't
statement.
and I don't
Go
want
ahead.
y'all to take that personally. I come from a customer service environment, so I've dealt with customers that might want to kind of want me to operate in God's speed. You know what I mean? So I don't take it
Right,
personally at all. I really don't. But I do want to make sure that people do get their answers if they have questions or concerns. But it's
right,
not just her. It's a lot of people that have asked that. I'd say a handful. They'll pop up in the comment section from time to time. I usually will see it because it gets filtered. You know what I mean? So I'm just kind of like, maybe there's a disconnect somewhere, but I always offer people to be able to talk to me, and I can give you an answer. If there's something I'm doing wrong, I encourage you guys. You can tell me if you feel like I'm doing something wrong. If I can do something better, I will try to improve. I'm gonna do my best. But if you're saying I'm doing
Well,
something wrong, I think that should be addressed though.
right, I agree. And I mean, I know, and I'll let you go because I know we're on a time frame, but it is so important to have any kind of life insurance. I, with my second husband, we had a baby at 24 weeks that did not survive. And us being Catholic, I had to have a big Catholic funeral and pay to have her buried, my baby. But it was like, you don't realize it. You know, life hits you when you least expect it. And fortunately, we were able to come up with the money, but most people don't have thousands of dollars just, sitting around. And, you know, it was sad, but I'm glad I was able to give her a proper burial, and, and we had the money to do that. But I think that's your passion is, this is why you say, listen, everyone, get life insurance, because we didn't have it. I mean, we didn't. And this was, 19 years ago.
Nice.
So,
Yeah. Okay, who is that talking? Is that Barbara?
Yeah, that's me. Hi, Jay.
Okay, we want to try to keep this as short as we can. Do you want to go ahead and chime in real quick?
Sure. I've been watching your show for a while, and I think about the GoFundMe pages. My son was murdered, and I'm on a fixed income. I'm sick. I'm disabled, and I scrape pennies to pay for his funeral. You know why? It's my responsibility as his mother, as his parent, to not only pay for him in life, but in death. Okay? It's no stranger's responsibility to pay for my son's funeral, point blank and simple. And that's the message I think that you're, putting across, is these strangers paying in a GoFundMe account. It's not their responsibility to pay for your child's funeral. As sad as that sounds, it's not.
So hold on. Let me say this real quick to clarify. Sure. For the majority of the GoFundMe's we've seen, especially for people who have reasonable ones, 2,000, 5,000, like, I'm really okay with that. My problem is the ones who put them up and they get nothing. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because
I understand exactly.
Those are going to be the ones where they're going to be counting on that, and they don't get a freaking thing. And those are like thousands of people that do that. You see what I'm saying? That's a problem.
Oh, I know exactly. And 20,000, 50,000 for a person that doesn't weigh 40 pounds. Where's the rest of that money going? Because a funeral don't cost that much. I'm elderly, so I know how much funerals cost, unfortunately, and I've never seen a child's funeral be $50,000. So where's the rest of that GoFundMe money going to?
Yeah. We got one more. Real quick, I didn't mean to cut you off. We got Miss Tina to you. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. If you can, you got to kind of speak into the mic a little bit so I can hear you. But we got to get back to our story. So if you would, go ahead and tell me your thoughts.
So my thoughts was about the donations you receive.
Okay.
People do have a right to give you donations. That's true. They have a right to do whatever they want with their money, right?
Yes. Okay.
But my problem with the donations and your platform is why you don't post charities on your page.
Well, here's the thing. Let me clarify. Do you know that I don't, or are you saying like that that's not what I've done, or you just don't know about it?
I actually ran across your page about a month now, and to be honest, I binge watched your page multiple days because I like the fact what you was putting across for children. A lot of pages don't talk about children. A lot of these stories we don't hear because we live in different states or whatever. We never hear it.
Right.
But story after story after story after story, I have not ran across not one time you saying, well, donate to the cause for this children or donate to the cause for this charity. Not one.
Okay. So let me ask you, and you know what, and that's why I say this might be a good time for us to talk about this. So I'm first of all, let me say thank you for being honest, and I appreciate you being here. It's like I say, just like I told Latanya earlier, I know it takes a level of confidence and courage to step on here. So I appreciate that. But let me say this. Wasn't it just about last week, maybe Lee or Barbara or Fig, one of y'all can tell me, didn't we actually just post one of our members' link to be able to donate to that school, to their
Yes.
to their
Yeah.
funding?
Yes,
I,
we did.
Yes.
Yep,
I don't
So how
remember.
many
Yes.
times was that link ran
we
across?
did.
So how many times was that link ran across that broadcast?
But
The
we
whole
did
time.
that whole
How many
broadcast, that
times?
particular.
How many times? That means, okay, so what I'm saying is on your screen, for every show you do, on your screen, you got your Cash App, your Venmo, your PayPal, you got that information, broad as day. Everybody can see that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So when you ran that, so whatever show you talking about that y'all say y'all posted a link, why wasn't that broadcast just like your PayPal and everything, so somebody can make sure they see
Well, here's the reason. They were asking for, to
it?
answer your question, with that particular for that particular campaign, they were asking for a certain amount of money, and we were able to get that amount of money. We collected the whole thing before the stream even ended.
But that's great. But some people like us, like me, should I say? I'm not even gonna speak for everybody. Like me, I missed that. But say
Uh huh.
if we wanted to still reach out, they might have reached what they wanted to, but maybe it's some of us that probably wanted to continue to give, but it wasn't broadcast like your personal apps.
Well, I'll say this. Really, none of those stay there permanently. So let's just say, like, if somebody wants to contribute to the channel so they can run an ad. So it's kind of like a scratch your back, I scratch mine. And they run that ad, it's usually for like a certain period of time. So even like with the young lady, her name is Aubrey from Aubrey's World. Me and her dad worked out a thing where I play. He wants me to play her music at the end of every show. Well, I
I see
do
that.
that on the live stream, but it doesn't stay up on the live stream, and the links aren't in there. But while we're running it, when people are in there, 2, 3, 400 people, we post the link so that they can click that and bring some people over. So everybody's been pretty happy with regard to the campaigns that we have posted about. But they're not always going to be like a mainstay there. You see what I'm saying? Like those people get what they want out of it. When those campaigns reach their funding limit, then those campaigns they end. But I don't think they should always be there every single time. I could, but if you think about it, that description box really only has room for so much information. So I try to make sure that what I put in there stays the same all the time, unless it's like when I put up Corey Rick's interview, his information will be in there because that's specifically about him and his music. I hope that makes sense.
So, all right. So here's my thing.
And people just
Now,
ask to donate.
so here's my thing. You are doing a great job speaking out for the children. I give you kudos to that. I won't take that away from you.
I
But
appreciate that.
this is mainly your platform is mainly about children.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think it's only right that you have charities or open a charity for for children. For some reason, maybe it could be for abused children, something, but it should be posted in that little box with your information, your cash apps and all that. That charity should be in that box. So
Okay,
squeeze over them little
may
things.
I ask you a
Make
question?
make
May,
I
may,
mean, make one of them things smaller because it's all about using your funds. Make it smaller and put a charity in there so people could go and donate to a charity. This is a child's page. So
Charity or a
I
charity?
honestly think that some of that money because trust me, YouTube, you're getting paid for YouTube, Jay, and people donate to
wait.
you
Hold
for
on,
whatever reason they
hold
want
on,
to.
hold on. First of all,
Don't ask me
I
how
will
I know
ask.
you get
Hold
paid.
on,
Come on,
hold on. Let me
I
ask
ask
you this.
people
Let me
that
ask you
has the
that.
platform as well.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. When it comes to posting a particular charity, Which charity should I post in there? Do you have any suggestions?
That's I just said that you should make a charity for children. Your platform is around children.
That's essentially what the channel is it not?
I
Yes.
said for abused children or some type some around some of similar like abused children. I mean, I don't know. I won't say give it to the families because the families, some of them, not all of them, have raised GoFundmes, but not all families raise GoFundmes.
Yeah,
It's so
look,
much more I
I'll
want to
tell you.
say,
Look,
but the
because
topic is not about that today. It's so much
look.
more
Hold on,
I
hold
want to
on.
say, but the topic ain't about that today.
Hold on, just a second. Let me say this. I will say this. If you have a particular suggestion as far as a particular charity, then I'm all for that. I would be more than glad to look at it, and you can email it to me. But outside of that, that's essentially what my channel is. It's an actual advocacy channel. We are actually saving lives, changing lives, educating people, and doing things in the real world. So it actually is an advocacy. It's an
But to
actual.
be honest, and just, I mean, you could rewind a couple of your shows. Right now, it's not saving lives because you said if you just said you could make a video every single day with the stories you get
Right,
from
for
these
the
people
lives
either
that are
killing their
lost.
children or hurting their children. Am I right?
Right, for the lives that have been lost. Those are the ones we tend
Since
to
the
talk about
pandemic, since the
in order to.
pandemic, it's been skyrocket. It's been worse than ever since. I mean, with the children that's getting hurt or killed.
Right. So what
So,
we're
Jay,
trying, we're
can I
not
say
look,
something?
and I always say this, and if you've watched, you just got to be patient sometimes and watch a little bit longer. But one of the things that I talk about, and then I'll move on to Keyshawn, and then we got to wrap this up. But one of the things that I talk about is I say that we can't do anything about the children that have passed away, and what I say is that these are cautionary tales in order to educate people how to avoid these situations and why they should avoid these situations. That's where we save lives. We can't do anything about the lives that we've lost, if that
Of
makes
course.
sense.
So
That's
what
that's
I'm
that's
saying
never the
is,
point. The point
so
the
the
point
whole thing
the
about the
point
charity is
the
what I'm
point of the
saying is
channel
that
the point of the
you could
channel
have
is
a charity for children that is going through something. All right, like all right. For instance, say if you got a family of three, a mother or father murdered one child. There's still two children out there that's going through stuff, right?
uh-huh. Yes.
I mean, so so with the funds from your charity can help maybe that child be taken out to dinner or take them to a game, something. I mean,
We've actually
but those
done we've
funds
actually
can help
done
go
that.
toward that child. It could be. I mean, you don't know how big your charity could get. It's just so much behind these charities, but your
Ma'am,
charity could get behind.
hold on
They'll
just a
have
second.
like they'll have like for
Ah,
instance wrap around.
Ma'am, you gotta hold on just a second, because like I said, we gotta kind of keep this brief, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but the suggestion that you just gave, we already have done that. Even like with the young man that lost his sister out there in actually in Cuyahoga County. I remember his first name. His first name was Rayvon, and he has the two ladies who are his caretakers out there, and we actually sent an amount of money to them to be able to do stuff like that. You know what I mean? We've actually had it to where whenever the snowstorms out here in Texas and Oklahoma hit and people lost their electricity and didn't have anywhere to stay, we actually paid for hotel rooms, especially for people who had kids. So there are things that we have done, but like I say, I think that you might just need to be a little more patient and listen a little bit longer, but there are things that we do, right? And I don't think
Jay,
we
can I just say one thing?
I
And
don't
I'll
think
pop
we
off
do it.
here.
We don't do it out of obligation. We do it just because we do what we want to do, and we help how we want to help. If that makes sense. Go ahead, Lee. We gotta wrap this up here in just a
Real,
moment.
I know. All I'm saying is, Jay has all month acknowledged it's Autism Awareness Month. Anybody can donate to Autism Speaks, Autism Awareness, and he has shouted that out over every single broadcast since April 1st. So there are great charities that depending on what fits you best, that you
Miss
should donate
Hollinger,
to.
Miss Hollinger, I understand what you're saying. There are charities, but we're talking about Jay's charity. This is Jay's page, not what somebody else created.
Okay. All right. I think we're kind of we're kind of running in a circle right now. I got a
It's not a
couple.
circle, Jay, because you used a past word. You said what we have done, not what we're doing. You use past tense. So you're trying to just run past and pull the wool over somebody's head. But this should show, and I know you don't want to seem like you're wrong, but I appreciate talking to you and trying to get my point across. I know you got a lot of followers, and I don't know how you did it, but kudos to you. Good night.
We're kind of running it. And that
Just,
is,
just Jay, what's going on, brother?
I'm a bit lost. Lord, Lord have mercy. Oh my goodness.
Listen, brother, this is what I'm going to tell you, man. And I know you want to end the stream, so I'm not going to be long. You know where your heart is. You know why you were put here and what you're doing. Regardless of, we can't save the child that's already lost, but we can save the child or save the parents and give them information on what they're doing wrong so that we can save that one child or two children. You know what I'm saying? So you're doing God's work, brother. Don't get caught up into what other people are saying. What we have to start doing is start silencing those voices that come against what you are trying to do and what other people are trying to do to put good into this world. Because what they do is they try to destroy what you're building. And if one person can hear and be detracted from what you're doing because of what she said, you can't give the devil a voice, bro.
That's
That's
right.
basically what it is. Can't give him a voice. You got to shut him down. When you see him, shut him down and give the truth. And I know and I know you, and I know that you're trying to be formal about it. But what you understand something, your platform is basically geared to save children's lives. Okay, you dedicate this to save children's lives. So when someone comes up here and tries to diminish what you're doing, you shut that down. You shut it down, brother. That's your God-given right. You're up here doing the truth. So until someone get out there and start doing what they need to do to help children, they can't come and tell you what you're doing is wrong because you're out there busting your ass and helping children. So that's all I wanted to say, man. God bless you, the AFC, and your family, man.
Always an honor, Bolo. Definitely appreciate
Thank
you,
you.
man. And don't forget, y'all, he does have a YouTube channel. You got any upcoming broadcasts if you want to let him know real quick?
Yeah, it's Bolo TV. It's about depression, addiction, whatever your issues might be. We center around love, center around truth, understanding, and center around a mirror. That we are our biggest problem. We are our biggest hurdle. So we center about giving you truth with love, because truth without love is a weapon. So that's what we center around. Thank you so much for your time and allowing me to do that, brother. I appreciate you.
All love, bro. Last but not least, Keyshawn J. Are you there, sister?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Barely. You got to kind of come kind of close to the mic, and then we'll wrap up after this, because I know we kept this going for a while, but I felt like it was necessary though. I wanted
Can you
to
hear me?
talk about this. I don't mind.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
A little bit. Go ahead. Talk to me.
Can you? Okay. Basically, I just wanted to say this, and people are going to be mad, and I don't care. I want to piggyback off of what the young man just said. You gave us a wrench for a reason.
Oh shoot, Keyshawn is going out. I can't hear you. Your signal's going out. Keyshawn, if you can hear me, your signal just went out. And if y'all are listening, we're still gonna do this this other story that I wanted to talk about. So I appreciate y'all being so patient. We still have almost 400 people here. That's actually really cool. I thought everybody would have left by now because I know we kind of get caught up in the minutia a little bit. Keyshawn, I cannot hear you. If you can hear me, I'm gonna type it.
Well,
Oh,
Jay,
she just dropped
I,
off.
I, I just loved chatting with you, and I just have one more thing to say. I love how you love your daughter, and we just need more men like you. We really do. And now I'm going to get back to the stream because I'm going to go donate. So
It's all good. Hey, that's my baby. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. I love that girl.
I could tell. Oh my
I
gosh!
love that
And
girl so much.
I'm sure she's a daddy's girl. And oh, you just done an awesome job all the way around. You really have. So I appreciate you guys. I really do. I do. So, like I said, I'm getting back to the live stream, and,
I
I'm
got
going to
you.
go donate.
I appreciate that.
Okay,
let's
thank you.
go ahead and I appreciate that. Thank you, Fig Newton.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I
All right. And last but not least, Josh. Josh. We'll see if Keyshawn comes back, but we got to wrap this up real quick. Go ahead and talk. You got the floor.
All right. Hey, I just wanted to say hi, you guys. I've been with the AFC family for a while, and being a victim of, well, now a survivor of severe child abuse, I gotta say that what you guys do is amazing. I'm with you guys on watching the news and not seeing any of this, happening when it should be the most, the biggest thing on the news every day, I believe. I'm gonna make this short because I just kind of jumped in and wasn't prepared, but I'll do a little better. And this is my first time doing any kind of call-in in a couple of years, so I guess that's really what I wanted to say. Be able to talk about some of my childhood experiences and stuff if you want on the show later on. And I've been doing my own YouTube thing now for a little while, especially within the last year or so, getting real hardcore onto the problems with society and mental illnesses that come from all this child abuse. I have a severe case of dissociative identity disorder that's been mistakenly called bipolar and borderline and schizophrenia and all these other things, and nobody except me finally figured out that no, it's multiple personalities. It's dissociative. And I go, so I've been, now that I'm figured out exactly what it is, now I'm beginning to break down whys and hows and everything else.
And
And I realize that.
And let me say this, and that's actually, and I appreciate that. Because like I said, we're gonna wrap up here in just a moment. But one of the things that I talk about in troubleshooting, the first step is to identify. Am I right?
You are right. That is
Identify.
it. It's got to
Identify
find
the
the source
problem.
to fix any of the symptoms.
Yeah. Yeah, appreciate that, man. Okay, is there anything else you want to say before I go ahead and cut it off?
There was, but it slipped my mind. Oh, what I was going to say was this mental disorder thing is two things. One, it's not an excuse. Once you become an adult, and I think there should be a license required for adulthood. It shouldn't be an age. You shouldn't be able to move out of your parents and have intercourse and all that stuff until you reach certain mental and financial requirements too. This mental illness thing is kind of a spectrum. It's kind of like a spectrum from bipolar to psychotic, and somewhere in between is where you're healthy if you can manage your symptoms.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
All right, man. Well, look, hey, good looking out, and thank you so much, Josh. And we'll see you in the chat, bro.
All right. See you guys later.
Okay, peace. All right, let me go ahead and exit myself out of there.